So welcome to the Outside Lives space. I wanted to share with you today some moves that you can do if you're in an office and you've been working long hours at a desk, or probably at this time you may be spending long hours at a desk in your own home. And sometimes if we're doing computer work, we can get quite stiff. So I'm going to share with you some really easy moves, and you can pick any combination of these moves just to relieve any stress or tension in the body when you've been sitting for a while. So to begin with, if you draw your chair away from your desk, so you've got some space in front of you, and you may want to do this for 2 minutes, for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, but it's really good to take a break every half hour just to move the body. Okay, so how to sit from to create a good starting point to move. So hip walk forward on the chair. We don't want to be leaning against the back of the chair. We want to be using our core muscles. And we lift the sternum, and we want the shoulders to be relaxed. So take them up and behind and down. Place the hands on the legs. So as well as a lifted sternum, feeling some length in the back of the neck. Wonderful. So the chin is slightly tucked in and parallel. And just noticing for a moment, you might even want to close your eyes and just noticing how that feels. With the head perfectly balanced on the top of the torso. And just for a moment before we move, imagine that the crown is lifting as you breathe in, as though there's a golden thread lifting the crown on the in-breath, and just let the body relax and soften on the out-breath. Wonderful. So always also good before we move is just to take some mindful breaths, just bringing all your awareness into the body. So interlocking the fingers, pushing the palms away, and let's have a lovely stretch up. Oh, wonderful. And coming down. Let's try that twice more. How does it feel? Just to stretch the whole body up, pushing the palms to the ceiling, and release on the out breath. One more, breathing in and release, breathing out. And then sliding the hands to the knees and rounding the back and dropping the chin to the chest. And just pausing there for a moment, but not holding the breath. Letting the whole spine round and dropping the head. Feeling the heaviness of the head, creating a stretch in the neck and the upper back. Breathing normally. And then turn the palms up and slide them back to the hips. And then push the heart forward. And create that C shape the other way, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. So moving nice and slow and mindfully, let's do that again. So slide the hands to the knees, use that as a lever, and just round the back. Drop the head. So pausing there, letting the heaviness of the head create the stretch. And then sliding the hands back to the hips. Shoulders towards each other. Lovely. And release. So you will probably notice that even those two moves, just a spinal stretch and what we call a cat-cow move, is already creating softness within the body, just relieving any stiffness or tension. So from there are 3 moves that the spine likes to do to stay healthy. It likes to flex and extend, and it also likes to do side stretches. It also likes to twist, so we're going to incorporate those 2 into our seated moves. So just holding one side of the chair, lifting the arm, and then keeping both sitting bones on the chair, just leaning over. How good does that feel? Breathe in, lift, breathe out, come down. Breathe in, extend, both sit bones on the chair, lean over. Wonderful. Breathe in, lift, breathe out, come down. Let's try that a few more times, staying mindful Breathe in, lift, lean over. Breathe in, lift, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. In, out. How good does that feel? So open up the sides of the body. Wonderful. And release. So spinal twist, really important that the spine can get to move like a corkscrew just to relieve any tension or tightness between the vertebrae. So taking one hand and place it on the outside of the opposite knee. Take the other arm and just place the fingertips behind the spine, behind the back, and you'll notice that that naturally creates a beautiful twist. And you can take the body round as far as it's happy to go. Breathe in normally. Feel the twist in the back and in the front of the body. And release. Let's even up. So opposite hand to the outside of the leg. And then take the hand behind, fingertips right behind the back. And just draw yourself into that spinal twist. Not really taking the head away from further than the body. Just keeping the head in alignment with the torso. Beautiful twist. Squeezing into that twist. But keep breathing normally and release. How's the body feeling now? Let's try that once more. So hand on the outside of the knee. Take the palm behind, fingertips on the chair. Squeezing, teasing the body round. Breathe in normally. And release. Other side, fingertips on the chair, into that squeeze and release. So those 3 moves are really handy just to keep your spine healthy even though you're sitting. So I'll just say them again. We rounded one way and the other way. We call it the cat-cow move. So we come down, bring the hands back. And then we did the side stretches. You can do these anytime you're sitting at your desk. You need a little bit of a stretch. And then the spinal twist. And release. So even if it's only those 3 moves that you do, you can do them every half hour. Just make you feel a little bit softer and more comfortable in the body. So a few more moves I'd like to share with you that may be handy. Sometimes when we're sitting at a computer, we can tend to round the back. So we want to open out the shoulders, create space, more space for the lungs. So bringing the fingertips to the shoulders and just drawing circles with the elbows. Taking it nice and slow, drawing the elbows in and up and behind and down. And when we do it nice and slow, we work the little muscles in the body, the little muscles that get tight. And it's a fantastic stretch for the connective tissue. And just now and again, just close your eyes. And it's like giving yourself a massage. How does it feel to move my body in that way? And then just to even out, bring the arms up behind, elbows up and forward. Behind, up and forward. Lovely. And release. So anytime you feel stiffness in the shoulders, give yourself some shoulder rolls. And now if you're feeling a little bit of tension gathering, maybe from what you've been working on, this is a great stress reliever. We bring the arms out. We make like beaks with the fingers and the thumb, and we breathe in through the nose and we draw them in as though you're drawing in any tightness, any tension, anything that's bothering you. And with a really long mouth breath, as though you're sending that stress or tension to the far horizon. And you make the out breath as long as you can through the mouth. So breathe in. Really long mouth breath. twice more. Breathing in. Any stress, any tightness, and then let it go. Making the out breath as long as possible. And one more. And release. So another 2 moves there that go together. If you're feeling any tension or tightness in this part of the body, is the shoulder rolls and then the duck bills where we draw in and release. So those can also be done in isolation. So the next set of moves are for the neck and the shoulders, and I'm sure all of us experience tightness and tension in this part of the body. So here's some very simple moves that you can do regularly, seated or standing, to relieve tightness in the neck and in the upper back and shoulders. Posture is really important, so once again check your posture. Hip walk forward, so you're not leaning on the back of the chair, you're using your core engagement to give you stability. So I want you to imagine that there's a ball of light under the chin, and this ball of light, like a tennis ball, it's travelling to this shoulder and down and to the other shoulder, and our chin is going to rest on it. So just taking the chin on that ball of light one way and down and the other way, and doing it really slowly and noticing how that feels in the body. We're just squeezing out any tightness, any tension. Nice and slow. So that is a skill, teaching the body to move slow. Come back to center. So this time, keeping the shoulders where they are, nice and soft, we're going to drop the right ear to the right shoulder, keeping the shoulders down. Feel the stretch from the tip of the shoulder right to the crown of the head, along the side of the neck. And as you breathe in, lift. On an out breath, drop the other way. And just pause there, breathe in normally. Let the heaviness of the head create that beautiful stretch here. And lift. And then next time you drop the ear to the shoulder, extend the right arm. Sorry, I think that's the left arm for you. And you can squeeze and release the hand just as the head hangs to the side. And release. And then gently push the head back up. And then drop the ear to the other shoulder. Extend the right arm as though your fingers are pointing to the corner of the room. And just make a fist and stretch the fingers alternately, and then release, and then push the head back up. And then we're going to twist the head, almost like you're moving the head like an owl. Shoulders stay forward and very relaxed. The nose is going to stay in a line, and as though there's something really exciting going on behind, we're just going to turn to look behind and come back to the front. And turn the other way and back to the front. Take it really slowly. That sense of squeezing any stress and tension out of the vertebra in the upper back and the neck. Wonderful. So last move, this is particularly for the upper back and the neck right behind here. So again, keep the shoulders where they are. Take the chin slightly forward and then drop it down. Keep the spine lifted and just pause, letting the heaviness of the head create that beautiful stretch in the upper back, the shoulders and the neck. And on one of your in-breaths, uncurl as though you've got a pencil under the chin, bringing it up and back to center. So you're creating almost like a pear drop shape with the chin. So chin forward and drop it down. Pause there, feel its heaviness. Beautiful. Breathe in normally and then uncurl. Chin forward. drop down and uncurl. Wonderful. So those are moves for the neck and shoulders that you can do. They take minutes. I'll just recap them. So we drop the ear to the shoulder. Oh no, first of all, we rested the chin on the ball of light. And then we did ear to shoulder. Then we turned the head like an owl. And then we did the pear drop with the chin. But they're all to be done really slowly, because that really relieves any tightness in those small muscles. Okay, so sometimes when we've been sitting, we're all very heady, and we've been working in the mind quite a lot. So what is really nice, a yoga position, we call it an inversion, is when we take the head below the heart. Now, if you have got high or low blood pressure or hiatus hernia, you need to be careful with this one. You don't want to take your head too low. But otherwise, if you think you're okay, just to give the head and the brain a bit of a break, we're going to slide the hands towards the knees and then slide them down and just drop the whole body down. Let it hang down. And breathe in normally here, in and out of the nostrils, mindful breaths, nice and deep. So the head is hanging below the heart. Breathing deeply, feeling a real sense of letting go in the shoulders, the arms, the face, the head. Staying there for a few more moments. And then we're going to inflate like a balloon. So pushing into the feet, bringing the arms up the side. Slowly uncurling the spine all the way up. And then bring the hands back down. So that is a move that you can do if you just need a break from that head work. You just want to really release the body down. Let's try that once more. So, and you can stay down there for as long as you like. So sliding the hands to the knees and then sliding down the legs and just hanging in this forward fold. And taking your awareness to your breath in and out of the nostrils, consciously relaxing the shoulders, the muscles around the eyes, the cheeks, the forehead and the mouth. Just resting there for as long as you like. So it's really lovely to release any tightness or tension in the lower back, stretching the spine. And then when you're ready, pushing into the feet and very slowly uncurling the spine. Use your core to lift the arms up. Shoulders and head, last thing to lift. Just check you're not feeling too dizzy. And bring the hands back down. Lovely. So that's just one move that you can do in isolation at any point if you just need just to let go for a few minutes. Give the brain a little bit, or the mind a little bit of a break. So moving on, just a few moves now before we finish for the core. So we can work our core when we're sitting. So the core muscles consists of several sets of muscles. They're the transverse abdominis, so they're the muscles that wrap right around the spine, front to back. They're the pelvic floor muscles, and they're also the lumbar multifidus, the tiny muscles that go along the spine. So if you bring your knees apart, okay, and keep that lovely lifted spine, lifted sternum, lengthening the back of the neck, nice soft shoulders. Just notice what happens. Where can you feel it if you sway from side to side? So we can feel it here. We're not leaning over, we're just swaying and using these core muscles to move from side to side. Again, another move, it takes seconds. You can just bring yourself into this move, and then we can take ourselves into a circle using even more of those core muscles. We engage the core and we take the body in a nice circle. Lovely. And the other way. It's also very, very soothing to sway and to circle the body in this way. So if you've got a minute or two, you can try that. Come back to center, and then to also bring in the shoulder and the upper body as we sway. We can bring in a figure of 8. It's a figure of 8 on its side. So as you sway, the arms can do the figure of 8 in front of the body, so that the upper torso also gets a nice little stretch and release. Lovely. And release. So any of these moves, once they become familiar, if you do them with your eyes closed, you can really take the awareness into the body. So a couple more for the core, and then we'll revise those. So we need to be towards the edge of the chair with the knees above the ankles. And then we're going to lift the arms. And then as we bring the arms forward, we're going to sink back. And then we're going to lift using the core muscles to take the arms back up. So we drop back, we sink, and then we use the core to lift ourselves back up. Drop down and lift. Beautiful. So you can do this as many times as you want. Take it nice and slow and nice and steady. And then bring the arms in front. Extend one leg and lean back as we did before. And then as you bend the leg, draw the arms forward. Draw the arms towards the body. So we stretch back, use the core to lift the body. Stretch back, draw in. So you should be feeling that around the center of the body. And release. Let's try that on the other side. So stretch the legs, stretch the arms, lean back, and then draw in, almost as though you're holding the beach ball, and draw in and release, and draw in, release, and draw in, let go. So just to revise what we did for the core. So we brought the legs apart and we simply swayed from side to side. And we can take the body in a nice circle one way and the other way. Take it nice and slow. I'm just revising here, so I'm going a bit faster. And then we can do a sway with a figure of 8. Wonderful for building up those core muscles. And then we can lift, drop back, lift. We need to be on the edge of the chair. Then we can do it with the leg extended. Draw in, drop back, draw in on both sides. So I hope there's some moves that will help you if you're in an office. Get your colleagues to join in for 5 or 10 minutes at lunchtime. If you're at home, take a break from your desk. You can choose any of these throughout the day, and it'll make a big difference to your well-being as you work. Thanks for joining me.